I just happened to lean over to Father Leon and said our scouts, Vivian and Declan, did an awesome job with today's readings. And Father Leon, never to miss an opening, and I'm learning this about him, whispered back, much better than any of my deacons. So Vivian and Declan, where are you? Raise your hands. Vivian and Declan. Where's Vivian? I don't see your hand. There you go, hon. The next time you see me dressed up in my uniform at Mass, you're invited to help me anytime with my readings. You really did a great job. Today we gather not only as a Sunday of worship like we usually do on Sundays, but today we also celebrate Scouting's annual anniversary in America. And the boys, their anniversary date is Wednesday, and the girls is March 12th. But most importantly, we're here to recognize all the work that they did on their religious emblems. So, we have over 50 scouts spanning the American Heritage Girls who earned their Respect Life Patch, the Girl Scouts who earned God is Love, Family of God, and I Live My Faith emblems, and our Cub Scouts here in the front row who have earned their Light of Christ emblem. So scouts, and I know that there are more scouts here, but if you're one of the recipients, just kindly stand so that we can recognize you again. Go ahead and stand up. Everyone who earned a religious emblem. Come on, Cub Scouts, all you guys earned your Light of Christ. Stand up. There you go. Go ahead, you can sit down. So congratulations, and again, on behalf of Fathers Leon, Father Joe, and myself, who are the clergy leaders for all the scouts, your scout leaders and your school teachers, we're really super proud of you. So again, congratulations. Now, before I get into my homily, I have a question. For you scouts, don't answer the question, just keep your hands down. I'm going to have everybody raise their hands with my question. So here's the question. For everyone else, if you were ever a scout, had a brother or sister who was a scout, if one of your parents or grandparents were a scout, or if you raised children who were in any of the scout programs, the American Heritage Girls, the Girl Scouts, the Cub Scouts, the Boy Scouts, the Explorers, just please raise your hand. I don't see Eagle Scout Greg there raising his hand. That's a sign he's not paying attention to my homily. Okay. All right, Greg, you and I will have a conversation afterwards. Keep your hands up there for a minute. I want to see you. Okay. Okay, great. Okay, you can put your hands down. Well, I really didn't expect this. You see, I'm going to have to change up my homily strategy a little bit here. You see, because I wrote this homily just for the scouts, and what I was going to do is I was going to give everyone else 15 minutes off so that you could run over to Basil Chevrolet for some free showroom coffee and popcorn. Oh, there's David and Colleen. I didn't realize that you were here. But now I see that there's going to be relevance for everyone, so you can't go for the showroom coffee and popcorn. You're going to have to stay here. Now, Scouts, I want to begin a discussion with you on salt. Yes, salt. As crazy as that may sound, why salt? Well, I'm not sure what your most interesting Christmas gift was, so think about it for a minute. Not your best Christmas gift or the one that was kind of marginal, but what was your most interesting Christmas gift? Now, don't raise your hands or anything, but do you have that image in your mind, your most interesting Christmas gift? Okay, you got that? Okay, well, my most interesting Christmas gift was a book called Salt, A World History. Yes, I'm already ahead of you. I know, really, lucky me. I know what you're thinking. A 5,000-year history over 450 pages on salt. It was like 3 book reports from your teacher. So, during the blizzard, guess what I did? I read the whole book. This is what I've learned. The only rock we eat, salt, dates back thousands of years before the time of Christ. There are over 14,000 uses spanning covenants, religious ceremonies, magical charms, preservation of food and others. Civilizations rose and fell over salt. It is a substance so valuable it served as currency, influenced the establishment of trade routes in cities, provoked and financed wars, secured empires, and inspired revolutions. 2,000 years ago, Jesus used salt as a metaphor when he compared his disciples to salt of the earth and light of the world. While both metaphors have to do with discipleship, salt of the earth is about one's distinctiveness, zest, and identity in the world. Light of the world relates to one's influence in the world. You see, what Jesus was trying to convey to his disciples and to us is that we are to affect the world the way salt and light affects their surroundings. The call to be salt of the earth and light of the world are well-known phrases. However, they are often misunderstood, especially salt. So what is salt? Well, in simplest terms, salt is a byproduct of a reaction between a base and an acid, and you'll learn that shortly in some of your science classes here at St. Greg's. When combined, they make a unique and distinctive, well-balanced compound, just as Jesus intended us to be unique and distinctive. Yet, however distinct, salt by itself is helpless and useless. Salt only becomes useful when it is used and mixed with other things. For example, salt is used in cooking to flavor food, popcorn, okay, I couldn't resist, and cure meats and cheeses. Salt is used to melt snow and ice, and I'm sure there was a lot of salt used in our last snowstorm. When Jesus called us salt and light, he was telling us we have the talents and gifts that could be of great value and help to others. Gifts for which we often perhaps do not give ourselves credit for. The prophet Isaiah described how we can be salt of the world by sharing bread with the hungry, sheltering the oppressed and the homeless, being friendly in school, set a good example, and be good stewards of our time. Sometimes we are called to do big things to help others, and sometimes it's just those little day acts of kindness that are significant and important. Just giving another person a smile or a kind word is all we need to do, even if it seems it's the hardest thing to do at that moment in time. And all those exercises that you did in your religious emblem books, that too were about learning how to be salt of the earth and light of the world. Personally, for me, as a lifelong scout, being called salt of the earth is no more a proxy for living the scout oath and law and the virtues of the Beatitudes from last week's gospel story. And we develop our own individual distinctiveness, zest, or saltiness when we promise others, when we promise to help them at all times, keeping ourselves mentally awake and morally straight. We become that city set upon a mountain when we develop our character to be trustworthy, loyal, meek, helpful, friendly, merciful, courteous, kind, peacemakers, obedient, cheerful. We thirst for righteousness, thrifty, brave, comfort those who mourn, clean of heart and reverent. Indeed, this is what Jesus asks of his disciples every day. That's what we're being asked to do today. And when we do these things, and when we interact nicely with others, we are, just as Jesus said, salt of the earth and light of the world that shines before all others.